Let's go over this question from your test. It says facial dimples and free earlobes are both considered dominant human traits. Okay, let's stop right there. We know that dimples and free earlobes are dominant, so we're going to use a capital letter to represent those genotypes, or those phenotypes rather. Which answer choice below shows the correct genotypes, that's important, correct genotypes of the offspring of a female with dimples and earlobes, so they actually give us the genotype, so that's nice, and a male with no dimples and attached earlobes. So he has all recessive traits, so he'd be homozygous recessive for both traits. So this is a dihybrid cross because we're dealing with two traits. We're dealing with dimples and free earlobes. So what we need to do is go ahead and write out the parental cross. So we know one parent is homozygous dominant for dimples and heterozygous for free earlobes. And the second parent is homozygous for both traits, so they have no dimples and attached earlobes. Okay, so then we're going to do our double Punnett square here. And we're going to separate our D's and our F's. So we have big D from this parent, and we have little d from the other parent. So that's going to give us 100% heterozygous. And then here we have one parent that's heterozygous and one parent that's homozygous recessive. So we do that cross and we end up with 50% heterozygous and, oops, sorry about that, and 50% homozygous recessive. So our next step is to figure out what was the question asking. Let's go back to the question. We want to know the correct genotypes of the offspring. Okay, so we're going to have to do a couple of different things here because we're not dealing with phenotypes, we're dealing with genotypes, which are the letters. So we know that 4 out of 4 of our offspring here, all of them, 100%, are big D, little d, right? So we're going to come over here and multiply by, let's see, we have 2 out of 4 that are big F, little f, right? So if we multiply these two together, that equals 8 out of 16, which is the same thing as 1/2, which is also the same thing as 50%. And we kept track here, so that's 50% big D, little d, big F, little f, if we're combining those two. So this is one of our genotypes. And then we have a second genotype here. So we need to do a second problem. So we're going to do 4 out of 4 again. 4 out of 4 were big D, little d. So that didn't change. And then over here, remember we have little f. So 2 out of 4 little f gives us 8 out of 16, or 50% big D, little f, little f. So it looks like we have 50% all heterozygous, and then we have 50% heterozygous and homozygous recessive. So let's look at our answer choices. It looks like we can eliminate these two because we know we've got a 50-50 split. And it looks like 50%, okay, so this one looks good, and then this one looks good. And if we come over here, we know that it's not this one because we can't have a parent, or excuse me, an offspring that's big D, because all of our offspring are big D, little d. So the best answer here is A.